Corey,
Yes, mom.
I'm gonna have to call you back, darling. Bye. Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Happy Friday. As you can see, I'm a little bit better. Was having some little bit of issues yesterday, but that's all good. I'm excited. I'm in a new place. I'm not moving anything. I'm in just in awe of all the things that are coming my way. Just wanted to say thank you for joining me today in wishing that I wanted to talk about alignment of the body in its spiritual connection. So, for you that don't know who I am Dr. D, med physician, and I have various background. I was known as the food alchemist. I started a business called Veggies Become You, and that started me doing healing work with the RNA and DNA codes of aligning the body, getting it back into health, and understanding the body matrix, the body makeup, the bones, and everything, and what we put in our body and how is it important. So that's how I became the food alchemist. But then as I dug deeper into my studies with food, I was also trained as a classically trained chef. Then I went on to be a raw vegan chef. So I studied there. I did some training, a certified raw vegan chef as well. I did some training under Alyssa Cohan, who you've probably seen on Tyra Banks TV show and a couple others, and she's out there in Boston, Massachusetts. So it's really good education. And then I started doing some work studying Giuliano from the Planet Raw Food Restaurant in Hollywood, California, and his formulas. And then it was another Raw Licious, Danny McKinney was another one. So it started me on my journey of doing some raw. And as I was getting into raw, I was learning a lot of different things about the body and the makeup, but then it brought me closer to understanding the earth and how it was important and the stuff we consume and the packages that our food came in. So I started looking at that and started really trying to go to more farmers markets, but I had been brought up or brought my children up to be part of a what we call a food co-op. I myself was a child of a food co-op where my mother and I volunteered work and were part of this food co-op. And the food that we knew it was, where it came from, and it was healthy, was whole, it was not processed, maybe the cookies and stuff like that, but everything was really made in the market or by the neighbors or they knew the farmers. So we were getting the best of the best ingredients. So unfortunately, by the time I had my children and I was homeschooling, we were in food co-ops where we would get together with other people in the neighborhood that would get these organic foods, and we pack up the stuff and it would come in bulks. So we would get it inexpensively, and that's how we save money, having a food co-op. And that brought that me of really understanding where food and the beans and ration them out, but then being in a farm and learning from my grandparents of different way of snapping peas, cleaning vegetables, canning, processing, what I want to say, canning, pickling, and making sauces. So we would have from the summer into the winter, which was good, and making preservatives and making jams. My mother's specialty was making apple butter. I don't like apple butter. Don't like that stuff. But each his own. But she would make apple butter. And for me, this is the time for soups. I'm a soup person doing Really want to say really September all the way up until March 15th to be precise. I'm really, really love soup. If it's a good soup with vegetables, hearty, um, maybe a little just meat for seasoning, that's me. I'm really, really like to be vegan, but my body makeup will not allow me to really go full force on being vegan. I've tried it. I've been under tutelage with the best of the best and was basically told my body and makeup is not made to be vegan and actually was starving. So the B5 I was not getting enough. And when your B5 is low, that means you're malnutrition. So I learned a lot about my body and the aches and the pains that I had. It got better. So that's my journey. Discover. So from there, I learned to do healing like Reiki. And my daughter was my first guinea pig at the time. So I learned the energy working with Reiki. I knew about spirit, but Reiki was something new and energy I didn't know I had. But it was something as simple like we can do is like rub your hands together like this, back and up and down, up and down. And just that little slight, you feel the energy going back. And when you feel it and it's wide, it's like a yo-yo, or we would say a stretch ball. That's energy. So when you're sending energy out, even though I send it out like that, or to me, you'll feel energy. You can feel maybe a tingling in your hands or a vibration, or you can feel heat from your hands. There's all kinds of things that you'll feel in your hands when you're doing energy work. So I wanted to talk about Reiki and what it does. It basically is calling in energy that's within yourself. You're producing just like electricity, friction, friction, friction. We are energy. We are frequencies. We just don't realize we are frequencies and we are energy, and energy runs through us. We are energetic beings, not the density that you see is just the density. The soul itself is also a frequency energy. This is just like I've said, this is just a suit that we are, the soul is in at this present time. The energy is in and running through. It's just a suit. And because of that, you can feel the energy within yourself. So that's what I like about Reiki, but also with Reiki and prana. Now, prana, you can use crystals, and on Reiki, you can use crystals. Um, and there's also crystal healing, crystal meditation. There's also crystal alignment. There's also things that you can do with crystal and making crystal grids. You can make a crystal grid for health. You can make a crystal grid for wealth. You can make a crystal grid for a career. You can make a crystal grid to bless your house. You can make a grid for protections. There's all different types of crystal grids that you can do to get your body and your situation in alignment. And crystals have many, many, many facets in life and partnerships in life with people. They have crystal mats for healing. If you remember John of God, in Brazil. He was using the crystals and he had a crystal mat. I went to a rheumatologist specialist that was actually into holistic and knew John of God. and bought the bed, the crystal bed, and she did the healing. And she would take her clients and put them under it. I remember it was like $175 a session. So at the time, that was years ago, before anybody was doing it. So being under crystals bring energy. They can take dispersed energy. Crystals can bring you prosperity. They can bring in balance without imbalance. They can also help you be more receptive to love, the love frequency energy, if you will. Crystals have a unique function in our lives, and they're around. They started in televisions, they started in computers, they started in watches. Crystals, you'll be surprised at all the different facets that crystals are in even today. You wouldn't even look at. There's crystals in a lot of part of the things, and it helps us vibrate and communicate. It also transmute energy. Now, another way of a healing and alignment is using herbs. Herbs I've been studying with, working with since I've been about 9. I've been reading Dr. Klaus' book and studied Dr. Klaus' book. That's why I wanted to be a vegetarian. Besides the other book that I read, Mahatma Gandhi. He is who I wanted to emulate as a kid, reading his story and learning to make food like ghee and being vegetarian and being humanitarian and being of the world. Now, where it came from, my past life, I can tell you. So, being herbs got me into like drinking different teas. My grandmother, Nanny, would make teas, and I would always have tea with honey and lemon, not sugar, honey and lemon. And it would be the real honey from a beehive or the farmer, because back in the day where I was a kid, the farmer dropped off the milk at my nanny's house with the butter and the cream, and it was in a glass container, and it would be something that the film would be at the top, the cream would be at the top. So, at the time you didn't appreciate that, but now as I've gotten older, I realize how lucky I am to see some of these things that I grew up with, and how close farm to table was, because she also used to take her leftover foods, the bones and everything, and she would have them go for the slop house for the pigs to eat. She would give them to the farmer, and they would do that. And then they stopped doing that because someone maliciously were poisoning or trying to kill the pigs. So they didn't know who it was. So they stopped taking it. And that was sad, because that helped them recycle their food, and it also helped the farmer keep his food costs down as well, and help the community. You see how like we everything went hand in hand. We helped, they helped, the community helped the farmer. So it was a good receiving and giving kind of relationship. So that's good. So getting back to herbs, that was my teas, and I wanted to know what type of tea. We grew up on Lipton tea. We grew up on Celestial herbal tea with the Sleepy Time tea. They have valerian and lemon balm and spearmint and all these different herbs in them. And then they had the tiger teas. Well, my mom was real big on the celestial teas. It would be the peppermint tea, and the lemon zinger was my favorite tea. So these are teas, and that had rosehip in it. So these different teas had different different vitamins, different essential benefits for the body at the time when I was a kid, and not realizing. The tea I didn't like was that mandarin orange. I just was like, I'm not a mandarin orange kind of tea kind of a person. That just not was not for me, if you know what I mean. So, so that was not for me. The mandarin orange. Go lay down, boo boo. Go lay down, Lacey. Go on now. Go on upstairs. Don't bother him. All right. So I grew up drinking these teas, but then when I was looking at the book, I learned to make salves, different salves for different things, for boo-boos and cuts and scrapes and stuff like that. And things like I didn't know, like you might not know, like things like making ointments and salves for like piles. Piles is basically nothing but hemorrhoids. I didn't realize that at the time. Hemorrhoids. So when you like these different ailments that will come around, you'd be flagellant, you would have gas, and then they go, oh, there's what relief it is. They would take aqua, aqua seltzer, aqua seltzer, and instead of doing that, my nanny would basically take some baking soda and some water and basically stir it up. It would say something wrong, you got a sour stomach, and just drink this. Or even as so much as like taking fennel seeds after eating and eating a couple of fennel seeds, which helped your digestive system. Like all these little things we didn't realize that they were doing, but they played a part in our body and keeping it alive. And during the spring, they would give you a tonic to clean you out. During the winter, they give you a tonic to clean you out. My mother's mother, my nana, would give my mother a laxative, meaning she would give her castor oil. My mother says the reason she don't like castor oil to this day, even though it has a lot of good healing properties, is because she hated taking castor oil during the season. And if they ate too much chocolate so they would not get worms, they would be given castor oil to keep the body cleansed and keep it running. And to me, that makes so much sense. So from there, you see like all these connections, these herbs, the castor oil, and then we got the castor oil pack, and that help the body heal. So castor oil pack, and you notice that a lot of people use them for aches and pains, but also for some people using the castor oil pack, they use it for their fibroid, if they have endometriosis, if they have PMS problems. Also women going in labor, being it's used for massage. It's used. And Edgar Casey, he doesn't use castor oil. He uses peanut oil to massage the body with. He didn't use it to cook with, but to massage the body. And I was like, what the heck? But he did have the castor oil packs that he would do for, impact and help healing. But the thing is, he used peanut oil. I went to a church called Logo Center in Scottsdale, and I got to meet Dr. Riley that took Edgar Casey's healings and brought them to the congregation and put them in a book, and seen some of the things, and working with electrodes and electricity and electronics. And they even have the Blu-ray that actually has electricity that heats up and goes up and down the body. Tesla came up with it, but Edgar Casey talked about it, and it was used. So, if you don't know who Edgar Casey, he was called, if you want to look it up, look up Edgar Casey, the Sleeping Prophet. He did readings. He would tell you different things that goes on in your body. He talked about the grape diet. He would talk about if you're going to eat bacon, something like make sure your bacon is very crisp. The crisper the bacon, you can eat it and it's good for you and it wouldn't do harm. But any other time, no, you should not eat pork. But that's what he said. Crisp, 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 hard, crisp bacon he would suggest for the body. Um, that was good. So he also would tell you to eat 2 almonds a day. Roasted almonds that would help your body, put your body back into alignment. So these are just some of the things Edgar Casey is. So if you really want to dive deep, I'm just giving you some things that he did go and look at it a little bit deeper and understand his diet, because he talked about the grape diet. He had all different type of things that people would come to them, and he would go into a trance and start speaking, and he would basically go into another dimension. Like I said, we are right now a 3D dimension, but we're more than that. We go outside of dimensions when we actually meditate. That's why I've been saying meditate, meditate, meditate. Once you really start meditating, you're able to go and actually go to source yourself. You're able to really connect to those past life and future life, other dimensions. And sometimes you can go out of galaxy when you're getting really good in alignment with your teachings and your meditation and knowing yourself. So then when you get so good, you don't have to ask other people. You'll be able to know because you're in the know, because you know thyself. Heal thyself, know thyself, and we will be well. It's just not just a saying. It's a theme that you need to know for yourself for healing. Um, and why and what aspect it plays. Because like I said, the mantra, you might say, is also a meditation and a prayer and affirmation and bringing forth the things that you want and removing obstacles, if you will. So when you're in doing a mantra, you're also doing meditation. So you're also putting your body, you're slowing your heart rate down, you're opening your airwaves, you're also relaxing your mind, you're releasing stress as you're doing your meditations. So these are just wonderful um, when you're in that energy and meditating. Meditating is essential, just like prayers are essential. And prayers, I mean, like giving thanks, just not, oh, I want this, I want that, but really like, thank goodness you wake up. I know you're like, she's beating this with a dead horse. I'm saying this for a reason. The reason is that when we are in a happier and a higher state, it brings about a higher vibration and a beautiful connection. And you want to stay in that and you want to flow with that energy. When you flow with that energy, it brings inner balance and it also brings peace. It'll open your mind that if you were in another state, you wouldn't have been able to see the blessing. Even though things appear, you hear what I said? The word, it appear to go wrong, but it's really not. It works out in a balance. So I'll give you an example. No, just something that you think is wrong or you feel is wrong, and you're like, it's not wrong, and or you want to moan about it. Sometimes I do this. I talk about, and then I think about like, dag, I shouldn't have said that. You know what I mean? And then I think about the words that I say. And I used to say, well, tell people, don't say try, do. And it's not, I say I'm trying, but I'm not trying. I'm actually doing it. But in my mind, so I have to go back and go, tap, 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 tap. No, no, no. I'm doing. I am doing. I am making it happen. It's happening right now. It's happening right now. So when I'm saying that, I'm changing that thought that I was trying. No, it's happening right now because I'm making it happen right now. I'm doing the action. I'm putting in the work. It's happening right now. So that's the blessing of actually taking that, what you think, and bringing it into alignment of what you know. And it helps balance out. So when you're meditating, you're going in, you're visualizing what you want, how you want to see it, but don't always expect how you visualize it for it to be. Just visualize the outcome and just accept it how it comes. Because if you do that and not waver from that thought, all it takes is for you to waver from that thought of you getting what you really need. I need to get some water. Okay. I'm coughing really bad. So stay focused on what you believe and not give up. So when you don't give up, write down, write it down, what you want, hold your hand over it, just like I showed you at the beginning, like the Reiki, and feel the energy and give that what you want energy and send it love. Now, I'm not saying you're not going to have obstacles and things are not going to try to persuade you not to go there. There are, because if it didn't, you know, it would be easy. And if it's too easy sometimes, are you going to really appreciate if it's so easy? A lot of people, no. But when you work for something, you keep it and you keep having it. You'll like, okay, I got it. So write it down. If you have to, some people make vision boards. If that works, do that. If you need to, make flashcards. If you need to, sing about it. If you need to, find a mantra for it. Find a blessing for it to open. Find whatever you need to keep you in that energy of receiving what you want to receive. That helps you stay in alignment on your dream and what you want. A lot of us like, yeah, it's a lot of hard work. I don't want to do that. But I'm telling you, you stay in that positive mind, that positive thought, you'll be surprised. Even though it look like doors are closing, don't look at them as doors. Look at it as a little window closed. A bigger door is opening. And want you to know, when you have, I'll say, a glass of water, and when you drop something in that glass of water, how it have overage, right? Like say you dropped a rock. So when you drop that rock, it had overage. So sometimes some things have to go in order for more to come in because you have more in abundance, but you always want more. So for that, sometimes you have to get rid of the other stuff so the other things can come for your blessing. And that's how I look at it. So I don't even pay it no mind. I'm telling you, this is true. It worked. It happened to me. And I have faith. All kinds of people come in your life for a reason. They come in your life for a season. They come in your life for maybe years or connections, and they bring something. There was a young lady that I'm grateful that came into my life. She introduced me to a person to help me with a situation that I've been dealing with for over 30 years. And I myself was not having success. But I was told, oh, sister, you're not going to get that. You don't, da 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 da. It's not going to happen. And I said, oh, okay, what? I'm going to give up. So I happened to be talking, and she was like, girl, don't do that. You do this, da 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 da. And she had a connection. In that connection, and I talked to this person. And they were like, oh no, they were wrong. We got this. I've seen this before. They just want you to give up, blah, 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 blah. This is what we do. And I was like, okay, all right, tried it. And I started having hope. And then everything started changing. Then doors start opening, other things that I wasn't able to get. Like it just like boom, boom, boom. Okay. But I noticed that the things or situations around me, certain people thinned out and went away, and were not in my company. And I was like, well, I was kind of sad. And I was like, oh, well, I just asked, keep me covered, keep me protected, keep me in light, and keep me in love. Surround me and bring me my tribe that I need. And so I was like, I got you. You want it? I got you. You got this? I got you. Okay. So spirit started showing me different things while people were in my life. And what it was, that the energy exchange, that I need to be in a fair energy exchange with anybody that I'm with. Is it balance? Because that's the thing. Sometimes we give so much that we're not receiving, that we're off balance. And for me at the time, I had a problem. I'm not going to lie to you. I had a problem with receiving. I didn't know how to receive. I was not used to receiving. So when somebody gave me something, I was like, I forgot how to say thank you because I was not used to receiving. And sometimes when we don't do that, that word thank you, or don't let someone bless us, we block them from getting a blessing. And I learned, I was like, ooh, I didn't mean to do that. So I changed my attitude. So when someone blesses me, I say thank you. And wasn't expecting it. So I say thank you. So when something bad happens, or something that I didn't think should happen, I look at it and say, okay, what is this I'm dealing? What is it I'm supposed to gauge from this information? And how is that going to help me? And how do I go about it? And I think about it. And when I come back, I was like, aha, I got it. Okay. Now I was really getting to the point of really understanding when you get to a point in your life when certain things do not bother you. And at first I was like, I would get really offended or upset when certain people would do certain things, or I felt they were wronging someone. And here I go with the S on my chest, and I'm like, oh, to save the day. That's not my job. I am not the world's superhero. I need to take stock and find out why it irritated me so much. What is it in me that it caused for me to be irritated? And when I realized, I was like, wow, okay. When you get to a point, you'll get, oh, okay, that's their lesson. They'll get it. Eventually, they'll get it. Now, where am I supposed to go with that? But I'm going to say, well, if I feel it's wrong, I'm still going to say something. But it's up to those individuals to work something out and make it happen. And if they don't, that's them. I made it aware. What they do, continue, brush, brush. I don't have to take that energy onto myself. And that's how we do. Again, that's how we come out of alignment with ourselves, because we're taking something that was not meant for us and taking it on ourselves to deal with. I'm just saying, we don't look at it like that. It's like, I'm just telling you, just keeping it real with you. I just think, okay, what can I do to make it better? What can I do for myself? That's what I say. Okay, yesterday was a beautiful day, and I list everything that was beautiful about it. I cancel out all the negative and name every beautiful thing before I go to sleep. Every beautiful thing. And then I said, okay, thank you for that blessing. Thank you for that lesson. And then when I get up, I was like, okay, I speak into existence what my day is going to be like. It's going to be a beautiful day. It's going to be in harmony. And I'm going to have doors open for me that were not open before. They're open today. I will walk in harmony, in balance of my super conscious self. I will be in alignment with my super conscious self. And that's where I want to be. I will talk with my super conscious self above my higher conscious self. And I will take in account of that accountability. I will be accountable for my actions, for my words, because words, they said words don't hurt, but words do. They make an imprint on someone's soul. So the words we speak should be of kindness, and the words we speak have power. We have power when we open our mouth. So be careful with your power. I'm just saying. So, and you'll find a lot more doors will open when you get in a state of an alignment, when you start looking at yourself, and the blessings will begin to flow. But like, oh, don't doubt for 1 second. Have faith no matter what you're in the midst of. Have faith. There was a book that I read that I love. Her name is Florence Shen Cheval. She wrote the book of wisdom. A friend of mine's, I forgot her name, Helena, sent me the book when I was in the midst of traveling from California at the time, going and moving to Hawaii. And she gave me the book, and it had really great points of wisdom of how to take interest in my life and how to take it to the next level and how to never give up and speak into existence what I want and know and just know that it's true. Know that what I want is true and it can be counted on daily. So I got interested in reading other books and learning about quantum physics, learning about Master Shy and the calligraphy and the power that it had behind it. And that's because a teacher of mine, um, President Ikeda from Soka Gakkai International Buddhism in Okinawa, Japan, did calligraphy for my daughter when she was ill in Japan with his seal on it. And it's supposed to have a healing effect and keep her planted, and we put it on the wall. A friend of mine had went to Japan and asked to get a blessing for her and the seal. He made one for her. So Master Shai does the same thing. um I don't know. They're saying the seal, it works. So these are different things that I'm learning, that with the power of a brush and the words of incantations, we have power. So that also brings us in alignment with ourselves. Not only the food, our thoughts, our actions. So when we're learning and we're bringing energy, because we're energy and we harvest that energy, we're able to exude and put out and bring in beauty within ourselves. So I like that about uh, flowing with alignment and energy. So taking in those things helps us flow on a reasonable level. We're able to be in balance with our crystals, with our herbs. And then I have over here, which I love, is my pyramid and my organite, my beautiful organite. And I love pyramids. I have them many places. So I love mantras. So these are different things that works with me, and they help me keep balance, but they also bring enlightenment and love in my life that I'm able to exude on my daily journal and daily day of a being, a being of this dimension in earth, and surrounding myself with love and giving myself love, but being of love and what love is, and unconditional love. That is the key, because we have learned or been programmed to only love with conditions and attachments that causes harm, not only to others but to ourselves sometimes. And it causes us to have different issues within ourselves and be out of balance with ourselves and be unhappy with ourselves because we're trying to live a dream that is not meant for us to be. And love, like they said, the great creator that created us gave us duality so we would have a choice. So we would know whether we wanted to go forwards or backwards and be able to get close back to the creator that we came from. We came out of darkness because it once was dark, now it's light. All it was is, as he said, just took one word, and there was light in this vast universe. So this is just one. And the forms that we are different forms. So the form that you're looking at, I didn't say that we were the physical form of God. We have the soul and the spirit of God in us because we are that image. And when we get back to that soul image of our godly self, we become in alignment. That is why I suggest meditation. That is why I suggest prayers. That's why I suggest mantras. That's why I say stay and believe in your faith and walk, because you can do things when you work in that energy. Just saying. Who would know but you or what you could do? So I want you to think about that. Um, I am Dr. D, and this has been Spiritual Connections. And I hope to see you soon. I hope you will stay tuned for Coffee with Ori on Monday. Thursday, we have Angelic Whispers with Dr. Ron Bates. And they are coming up, and we have more shows to be seen. We are bringing you the best of the best, and we are so glad that you take the time to listen to Food Alchemy Network. I will be going to a commercial now. All right, everybody. Thank you. It's been real. Bye. Let's see. Come on, come on. with you. Come